Hi everyone, last week Tesla released their Christmas update to the entire fleet. It adds features like boombox that you might have already heard in the news about, and does some UI tweaks that we've already seen in the full self-driving beta. The boombox feature allows you to have your car play different sounds as you drive, not just the default woo. You actually can customize it. You can even change the honk to sound like an ice cream truck. You can even upload your custom sounds, which is probably a whole can of worms. Will serve for a lot of funny videos and pranks. But will also allow you to customize your car to you more. Unfortunately, my car is from December 2018, so I actually don't have those speakers installed.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Elon already mentioned that they're investigating if these speakers can be retrofitted to older cars, so that we potentially could use the boombox feature too. But there's plenty of other things to see, like UI improvements that we already saw in the full self-driving beta that only a few users and YouTubers have so far. Let me walk you through it. So the update has finished now, and the first things we notice is that the side panel on the left has grown wider, and that it displays the car now in a profile view. For example, if I turn the front steering wheel, the animation updates. It shows me the angle that the tires are pointing to. It also gives me access to lock the car right from here by tapping on the lock symbol at the top. I mean, obviously the original one is still there, and so I think this one is just for convenience, because this one is usually always there, but also when driving. Also, this graphic is animated, so if I open the door, you see that the driver door is open now, and if I close it, it will also update the car on the screen. If I roll down the windows, it will also update the model. It also shows if I'm just partially opening a window. So if I open the front window halfway, and I can open it a little bit more, but you see it's not completely open yet. So now if I go ahead and close it again, it correctly animates the state. I can open the charging port by just clicking this button, and besides pulling up the charge state, it also animated that the charge port is open now. I can also just close the charge port again from here. I can open the frunk and the trunk, and both of them animate. And if I close the frunk and the trunk, the screen gets updated accordingly. The release notes now contain a changelog of all previous updates and what has been changed in each update. So first off, in the 2020 4825.10 release, it mentions that the release notes have been improved. And this is the new improvement where we can go back and see all the recent releases going back to the 2020.4 release. There have been 3 new games added to the arcade: Polytopia, Cat Quest, and Solitaire. If you're into the games, I think this is a welcome addition. Besides the games, the driving visualizations have been improved. The backup camera and the windshield wipers have been moved off this area of the screen, of the lower half, and moved into the bottom bar. So I can just open the backup cameras or the windshield wiper. The mileage and the tire pressure card, retrieve them by swiping to the right, you get the mileage. By swiping to the left, you would get the tire pressure, but since we're not driving, we currently don't see it. So we just get a picture of the car. All the indicator lights have been moved into the left half of the panels. Furthermore, the current speed, the autopilot speed, and the detected speed limit are now moved slightly more to the left, so they're aligned to the top left corner of the screen. The scheduled departure feature has now been improved, so battery and cabin can be preconditioned even when the car is not plugged in. Furthermore, the supercharger icons have been improved. It used to be that you would see directly on the map how many charging stations a supercharger would have and how many are being used. For the really large superchargers, that could take up a lot of space on the screen. So Tesla moved away from that, and now it just shows the pin for the map and the number of stalls available. And then yeah, last but not least, the Tesla T has been removed from the main screen. The information it used to provide can now be found through the software section of the driver menu. So like you're going to drive, software, and you get all the information. Let's just drive to this neighborhood and see some of the new driver visualizations. You can also see in the animation that the tires rotate and all that. You also can see when you change the speed limit or the desired speed, it briefly shows up that it recognized that you wanted to increase the speed, and then it disappears again from the interface. Now if the right side of the screen, example the map, is obstructed, then the directions are now included at the top left of the display. This is very useful, especially if you have a passenger and they're using karaoke or they're looking something up, or they're trying to play some music. I still need to be able to see the instructions where we're going, so this is very helpful. What I noticed is that the sonic sensor animations seem to be much bigger than in the previous version. I think that's nice and useful, so they're a little more obvious. Also, it sounds like that in the future the width of the left and the right panel are going to be adjustable, so if you prefer a larger map, then you can actually set it to a larger map. And if you prefer bigger driver visualization, especially once full self-driving becomes more accessible, I think having the windshield wiper and the camera button in the bottom bar is better, because buttons that are on the border or near the border of the screen are much easier to reach, because if it's further in the display, I have to use my index finger. Sometimes you miss the button you're trying to press. The trick I use is I hold on to the display and then press the button I want to interact with. For me, it's an improvement. One change I noticed that I think is new to this update is whenever you drive along dividers, it used to recognize them as cones for me, but now it actually recognizes them as dividers, which I think is really cool. As you can see here, obviously it doesn't recognize each single one, but none of them are recognized as cones. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching this video. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comments. Subscribe if you want to see more, and have a good day.